Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and thank you for joining me. I wanted to show you a project that I'll be making with you in this video. It is so fun, super easy, and you can get it done in absolutely no time. What I loved most about it is back to my one-page wonders. This is using a single sheet of 12 by 12 paper. It can be double-sided or single-sided. I'm using single-sided as I always like to show you what I do with single-sided sheets of paper. The gorgeous little bunny here is from Digital Collage Club. You will find them at Making and Creating, which I will link their shop below. I do have a discount code for you with them if you wanted to check them out. And that's just some of the digitals I have used just to decorate the pages, but of course you can use anything you want. So what I love about it is the expendable part of it. Now, I've made these types of projects before. They have been, sometimes I just add a lot more pages to it and it can just keep going. But the one thing I never added to them were the journal pages, which I think was fun. I don't know who started adding the journal pages to these types of projects, but I absolutely love it. I have seen it a lot, and I thought I would just show you how easy it is to make it with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. At the end of the video, after I've shown you most of this, I'm also going to show you a smaller version, which you could also do with a single sheet of paper. With the one sheet, though, you get two. And so you get to choose what size you want to make these. Okay, so I'll explain that as I go. But first, let me just show you how adorable this is. So for the cover, I did add the image from the kit from Digital Collage Club. Again, they are through Making and Creating, and I'll link them below. Just added a little flower, a little bit of lace here. I don't know if you can see it. Not lace, doily. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is a easy binding. Like, there's no sewing to bind this. Of course, you can always sew it if you want to, but you don't have to sew the pages in this one. All right, so going in, we've got another gorgeous little bunny image. I'm using these lovely cards from Your Creative Studio. They did come in a set from an unboxing that I showed you a little while back. I will link it below if you wanted to check them out. I love their boxes because primarily they're ephemera. It's ready for me to use in anything I want. I also have a discount code for them if you're interested. This is just a misprint. And of course I like to reuse everything. So that's one of the pages there. And then I've just loaded it with different pages. You know, that's not the interesting part. On this part here, I've added another little tuck spot. And again, one of those gorgeous images, cards from Your Creative Studio. This is the back. So I could add another image if I wanted to here, but I didn't want to for this part. And then we flip it over again. We have another card. This is all from Your Creative Studio. This one page is a misprint from my own printables, and I will link those below, the other side of that misprint. This again is from my own digital collection. And then here, and I love how the colors just kind of go together. And then again, this one is from Your Creative Studio. And now to tuck things into this pocket, I think the easiest thing is always to open it up, because otherwise it's a very tight fit. But you can see how fun this is to make, right? So I'll show you how I put it together. And then I'll show you the smaller version, which I think you'll like. And you can make both with one sheet of 12 by 12 paper and have fun. I hope you make a bunch of them this weekend. If you like the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That really helps my channel, and it helps the algorithm actually show my channel. So thank you for that. And let's get started on this. Okay, so you take your 12 by 12 sheet of paper and you cut it in half. So you're left with two 6 by 12 pieces. Okay, and non-directional paper works well, but if you figure it out where you want your design, you can certainly pick one that has a nice design on it, you know, that has some sort of direction. So we'll take our first sheet of 6 by 12, and the scores you're going to make, super simple. 4 inches is the first score line, and 8 inches is the next one. And that's it for this one. Okay, so that's the score lines that you will need to make the larger version of the mini journal. The folding of it, this is where you decide what you want your front page to be. If you've got the single-sided paper, then you'll need to figure out if you want the design on the front or the design of the paper on the inside of your journal, depending on how you fold it. So I've gone ahead and decided where my front is going to be my design paper. So I figured for this part here, I'm just going to do some stenciling. I am using a stencil from Your Creative Studio, which came in their last subscription box. And I, again, will link that below if you haven't seen it. And this way it just covers up that white part of my paper. I could have just added more paper to it and covered it with paper, but I wanted to do a little bit of stenciling this time. The postcards, again, they come from the same Your Creative Studio box, and they are perfect fit for this project to make some pockets. I like to back my paper sometimes with scrap pieces of junk mail envelopes or even book pages, because I have so many, like textbook pages. This way it kind of makes my paper a little bit sturdier when I'm gluing pages on, and it gives the paper a little bit more support, especially if you're working with paper that's a little bit thinner. So here you see I'm adding pockets to my little journal, and I've decided that I didn't want this pocket to go on the back of my journal. So I'm going to put it on the inside, and then I'll finish off the other side with something else. So this way, when I'm putting my journal, folding my journal up, then this actually is the back of my journal now, and I didn't want to have a pocket kind of sticking out on the back. So that's the kind of stuff that you'll figure out as you go along with it, is just where you're adding your pockets or tuck spots. If you even want to add any of those, you don't really have to. Here I'm taking, again, pieces from the Your Creative Studio subscription box, and I'm going to make a little kind of like a side tuck with this piece. I like that there's a little bit of script on that page. It's kind of neutral, so I'm not adding a lot of color to this, which I kind of wanted to keep it that way. So now come the bunnies. This is the collection from Digital Collage Club, and as I said, you'll find them at Making and Creating. I've been wanting to use these bunnies on everything, you guys. If you haven't seen my past project, my little junk mail envelope project, I will link it below. I just wanted to feature some of the bunnies in the window of the envelopes, so I will link that below if you haven't seen it. Here I'm just trying to decide if I want to add some of the images to the front or to the back. And I've decided on this this one here. I thought I was going to use the pocket here on the back, but again, I don't really want a pocket on my back of my journal here. For the front, I'm playing around again with some pieces here. I believe this collection of frames came from BB Craft, and I will link their I will link it below as well with a discount code for them if you're interested. I'm just trying to decide if I want to have the little bunny on the front or if I want the bunny somewhere else on the journal. And this is the part that's always a little bit kind of slow for me, because I'm not really like quick at deciding what I want to do for the front of a journal, and it always goes back and forth, right? Working with digitals is great because you can always print out another page if you didn't like how something came out. However, because I am using cardstock, if you don't have a lot of cardstock, then gluing something on it is something that I really have to decide on ahead of time. I thought about adding this one as a pocket on the back, like a large pocket, but again, I'm not sure, where I wanted to add this little bunny, because I really like it. And I think if you see the beginning of the video, I decided that I think it was going to stay on the front of my journal and not on the back. But it took me a little bit to come to that decision because I liked all the bunny images and I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. So I guess the next step here is to look at my signatures for my mini journal. I did show you that I just used like, many scraps really is what I wanted to use for this one. And this is the best way for me to sort of put something together. I get to reuse misprints of my digital collections or anything really that I've printed. Plus, any kind of pages that I could use as a journal page in a junk journal. So here I've just used a variety of pieces. There's only a couple of pages in here because it's mostly for the video. And I'll probably keep this sort of as a sample of reminding me of this project if I wanted to make something a little bit more substantial the next time. But I think, you know, if you were thinking of gifting something like this and maybe someone doesn't know about junk journals, you can certainly add just regular blank white pages to it, and it becomes a cute little notebook that you can take anywhere with you. You know, making lists, groceries, that sort of thing. Just anything that you can keep with you because it's so small and it's so easy to put together. The other part that I am going to show you is when I put in the signatures, how I'm doing this, because I mentioned it was a no-sew junk journal, right? Okay, so I decided on the bunny on the front, and then, you know, you've got your little tuck here, nothing on the back, and then the two pockets that will kind of have a signature in between them. So again, decorating the front, I'm trying to come up with something that is really nice, but not too much. I don't want to cover the bunny face too much, so that's where I'm trying to decide. You know, I'm covering a lot of the ears, but I wanted to see the ears, that sort of thing. I'm sure many of you go through that when you are making your projects. Some parts are kind of more difficult than others. Let me know in a comment below if you find decorating the cover of something the most difficult or the inside of your journal most difficult, because everyone kind of does it a little different. All right, so I decided on adding the doily to the corner. I added a little flower and then this little button that has a little bit of glue on it. And I think that looks adorable. I like how that's turned out. Now it's a matter of getting ready to, you know, fill in my pockets and add my signature. All right, so adding my signature. I have separated them already. There's only two here. And the reason I said this was a no-sew, which you could do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch for this if you wanted to. I'm just going to staple it. And this staple, guys, I wanted to show you, it's a rotating one. So you can kind of move it around to fit your paper how you want it, which I think is genius. Now you could use a stapler, you know, a regular stapler, open it up and then put like a piece of cardstock underneath the item that you want to staple on, and that works fine. But if you wanted to staple it with something like this, then this is the easiest way for you to do it, because it actually, you know, you can see here how I'm just moving my little journal around, and I can certainly put my little staple in the spot that I wanted to, and it clips it right on there. So I absolutely love this thing. Now I think I got this at, I think it was something, maybe Temu. I'm not 100%, but I have seen it on Amazon, and I have added some links to my Amazon link in case you wanted to check it out. I think it's a great stapler to have. It's not that expensive. And of course you can use it as a regular stapler, but if you wanted to do this little kind of extra with it to add pages to a spot that you usually may not have access to because of a regular stapler, then I think this works beautifully. So that's why I said this was a no-sew journal. Of course, you could just punch 2 holes, you know, with your hole punch on the top and bottom of your signature, and then put string through it and make a little bow and tie it around. That's another way to do a no-sew. One thing I do have to fix here is one of the staples. I noticed that I kind of put it a little off, and easy to fix because it's paper. But now you can see how cute this came out. Super easy to do. You don't need much to get this done except your favorite papers and your favorite pieces that you want to decorate with. And it just turns out so cute. So I am going to show you how to make the smaller version if you wanted to make the 2 different sizes. But of course you can go ahead and make the same size with the 2 pieces that you'll be cutting out. I wanted to show you that just to cover the staples, I added a little bit of washi tape to where the staples would be kind of sticking out. And this covers the little sharp edges, but it also gives the journal itself a nice little you know, different texture to look at, or something different to look at. And that takes care of covering the little staple metal thing sticking out. All right, let's make the smaller one. So again, you take your 6 by 12 and then pick, you know, whatever paper you want as well. And the score lines for this one is at 3, at 6, and at 9. And that's it for the score lines. This one gives you 3 sections to add journal pages instead of the 2. And again, you get to, you know, decorate and add all the goodies that you want to it. I'm just going to quickly show you what mine is looking like. Like I said, you can finish this in no time at all. You get 2 different sizes from 1 sheet of paper, and it's all about how you score it. And what I've done so far with the mini one is just started adding some paper to the blank space on the inside, just to do something a little different. And then I've added some of the pages already, again, just to give me an idea of what I want in there. So you can see that from 1 sheet, we can get the 2 different sizes if you wanted to, or you could have, you know, 2 of the same size. Of course, if you wanted to stitch in your pages, you could do that. You could also do the easy binding, which I've shown you before. It's just attaching the pages with a ribbon tied around the page, you know, ribbons or string. So that's also nice. But I think this is such a fun project. You can just, you know, take with you anywhere you go. This would be a beautiful gift for hostess if you're doing anything for Easter, and you know, for kids as well. Kids love notepads and that sort of thing, so that's actually, I think, another fun thing to do. I like that you could have, like I said, the 2 sizes from the 1 sheet. And yeah, that's it, my friends. I hope you liked this video. Let me know by liking, subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and leave a comment below and let me know if you need to see me decorate the other one. Sometimes I like to just leave projects started so you can kind of take off. You don't need to see every single step, I don't think, but some of you might want to. So let me know for that. But I think these are so cute. I'll definitely be making more. And of course, you know, you can make them in any theme and design. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for stopping by.